what's going on for people that do pop in. I'm out of town in New Orleans. Out here, it's Mardi Gras. Wanted to talk a little bit of football with y'all today. Definitely some things to talk about as far as observations, uh, what it means moving forward. There's gonna be some good games on today. Hit that like button as you enter the room. Got a lot that we could talk about. Also, opening it up for any question and answer. Let me know if you can hear me. What's up, JB? Can you hear me, bro? Let me know if you can hear me, because I know I'm in the. It's real early, so I'm in this. I'm at the convention center out in New Orleans for a cheer event for my daughter. Pretty much gonna be here all day, but yeah. What you think about the playoff games yesterday, JV? How you feel? How you feel about Niners got their ass whooped. Niners got destroyed yesterday. I know Cowboy Nation is rejoicing right now. Eagles got popped last week. San Fran got popped last night. Mainly, I think the game of the playoffs so far has been that Broncos and Bills game yesterday. What, bro? Crazy. Yeah. Declan is crazy, bro. You a nut, bro. Yeah, 49ers losing yesterday was just crazy. And, again, my treadmill talk last week was about how D-Law was right. And you're starting to see like some of the top players doing their thing when they come to these playoffs and stuff like that. Some of the old Cowboys and stuff going to other teams, and yeah, we can get this. Let me see. Yo, what is up with these trolls, bro? Y'all are hilarious. Join a Lucas. Hey, I'll take that. Bro be cooking. Crank Lucas, right? That's what they call him. Crank Lucas. But yeah, nah. And shoot, JV, man, you got my permission, bro. People are acting crazy to go ahead and snipe him up out of here. Yeah, got Declan up out of here. He got his ass bounced like the 49ers. Got his ass up out of here. But yesterday the Broncos and the Bills game was a really, really good game. But again, the reason that I wanted to go live is to talk about the officiating. The officiating is nuts, man. Absolutely nuts, these playoffs. Not even just playoffs, all year, man. I just feel like gambling has made the officiating, it has made all of that stuff. What's up, babe? Nothing? I'm going live. You don't want nothing? Yeah, man. Let's see. Cookie Monster, Josh Allen, only chance of a Super Bowl, no Lamar, Burrow, or Mahomes. Yeah, I agree. Get out of here, bro. Go. I'm about to go on a stroll because I know that these little girls around here. You see everybody double tap the screen, like the video. Yeah. Hit that like button. Bruh, what is going on with these people? Y'all are nuts, man. I hope this is a safe place to confess my crime. I don't know. Maybe it is. But I'm just gonna tell you, if the feds catch you, then that's your ass. I ain't helping you out. Shreds has 5 turnovers and still could have won it. So unfortunate for the Bills. I actually feel like Yeah, sure. The turnovers happened. I also feel like it got to a point where the officiating felt like they needed to take over the game, and that last possession on both sides was probably some of the worst officiating that I've seen as far as consistency goes. You know, because I couldn't help but look at the Brandon Cooks play, and you know, watching a lot of Cowboys game and being a Cowboys fan, watching Brandon Cooks body catch all of the time. He certainly didn't do himself any favors, but he caught that damn football yesterday, y'all. Brandon Cooks caught that football. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. JV Boy said should have been a safety to end it, in my opinion. Was that the play where Josh Allen got out of that play? Yeah, Cookie Monster. Yeah, I'm with you. That pick was BS. The knee was definitely. Stop playing, bro. Yeah, definitely. Let me see. Knee was down. Yep. Yeah, so over it says it was. They need to do it something because you're right. Vegas is costing games. Yep, bro. See, holding in the end zone in overtime. I mean, here's my thing about the holding, and here's my thing about all of that. They allowed it all game, and this is my thing: consistency. You can't choose when you want to change a game. You can't choose. It's got to be consistency. If you've been calling holding early in the game and calling holding late, you know what I'm saying? I think my biggest inconsistency is what the hell a catch is. Like what constitutes a catch? Because that same play happened with Aaron Rodgers and the Ravens in the regular season, where he threw a ball, got tapped back to him. He didn't have all full possession, and the Ravens guy, and it was a tie, but they said his knee was down, and they allowed him to, you know, he didn't have to complete the catch. Y'all can go back and watch it. I think I'm going to do a short on it, but it's just like one game is this, one game is that, and I kind of feel like this. Y'all can go back and watch it. Again, I'm going to do the short, but I really feel like the officials aren't even making the calls anymore. I feel like it's being led by the TV crews, because whatever they're saying, if it's Tony Romo or whoever, whatever they say up there, or Gene, or whatever the refs, analysts are saying, they're going with those calls, and it's not, for the most part, being a little bit different from what those guys are saying. I kind of feel like it's really a dog and pony show, and the game. Yo, can y'all stop? Can y'all stop? Stop playing. Stop playing, bro. I'm about to go roll out. Double tap the screen, like the video. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go walk. The rules are horrible. Double tap the screen. So is it bad rules or bad calls? I think that every year they change the rules for interpretation. So I think you open it up when you keep making the rules a little bit murky. Like I pointed it out before. I think college does it well with how they do the reviewing process. I think they do it well. I think that when they have those owners meetings and stuff like that, they murky up the rules every year. So it's always up to interpretation, but when you leave it up to interpretation and there's no real consistency, whatever the refs feel like that day, they can make it. But I just find it odd that I just find it odd that with whatever the refs decide that day, from the booth and the TV crew and all that stuff, it just all it's just not, I don't know, I just don't like the inconsistency, that's all, you know. But like I said, I think college has done it right. I found a nice little quiet booth over here. What's up? Michael Autry says DC for life. What's going on, man? What's going on with y'all? Cookie Monster said, "You seen what Puka Nakua said about the refs?" I have not, but I can only imagine if you can, shed light. Let's see. Chief of DC said the rules are horrible. It's like, yeah, they've made what a catch is so complex. You know, they made what a catch is so complex. Like if I was a Bills fan, and I say that I know a lot of you guys are Cowboys fans. Just imagine that being your team, which it has been multiple times. You know what I'm saying? They've made stuff up as they've gone along, and that was an opportunity for the Bills to get screwed. So just to let y'all know, it ain't just the Cowboys. It happens throughout the league. And y'all hit that like button though. Yeah, we can talk about we gonna talk about playoff football. And to my Cowboys fans, I am gonna pose the question, or actually any fan that is of a team that's not in the playoffs. What have you liked about some of these playoff teams that you want to implement to your teams? The chief of DC said too many people involved to be consistent. Yeah, agreed. Absolutely. And hey, JV boy is a real one. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all double tap. Let's let people know that we online right now. Cause I don't know how long I'm gonna be on for, but I got a little bit of time right now, so I just wanted to kind of talk to people, talk about the games yesterday, talk about some of the games today. I know that the Patriots and the Texans play today. What's the other game that's going on? I forget the other game. Because I know it's going to be an NFC game, obviously. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank as to what the other game is going to be. Rams Bears. Okay, yeah. Rams Bears. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be a really good game. Y'all let me know in the chat who y'all think is going to win between the Rams and the Bears. Y'all let me know. And also put some scores up there too. Put some predictions and all that stuff. Goodyear says finna be all clamps on New England. That's going to be a really good game, man. I expect that to be a similar game to how we got the Bills and the Broncos yesterday. And shout out to shout out to Bo Nix, man. Damn, unfortunate injury. You came out and you played a hell of a game. It's unfortunate that next week he won't be able to play in the AFC Championship game. I mean, the Broncos haven't been this far since they won the Super Bowl. Since they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, I believe. So I know the Broncos fans are sick right now, man. And, I feel real bad for y'all. I really do. My man said, were you locked up in Delaware? I'm going to show y'all some stuff. Look, I'm at a convention center out in New Orleans. I'm at a convention center out in New Orleans at this cheer competition. If anybody is here, you know what I'm saying? Pop out, say what's up to your boy. Say what's up, JV boy said, I'm rooting for Tsunami to come and swipe everything away. That's funny. Chief of DC, another excellent comment. Too many chefs in the kitchen with making rules and the environment of the rules. I agree. And like I said, man, when you leave too much up to chance, you can't help but feel like there's the gambling aspect of it involved. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing too, with the gambling aspect, it's made the game almost like a drug, man. And if you watch how people watch these games now with the gambling aspect, I mean, people been crashing out even more. Damn, we got 123 people in here, man. Y'all hit that like button, bro. Now, I know it's a little bit tough. I think what you got to do is hit like the the three dots at the top of the screen, and that's how you got to hit the like button. See, Joshua, Patriots beat 5 teams with top 10 defenses. They'd be all right. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I feel like it's going to be a game of field position. It's going to be a true playoff game, against... Now, the Texans group has a little bit more experience when it comes to playoff matchups and playoff games, right? So when you know that, you kind of give them the nod. You know, C.J. Stroud has been in his a fair share of big games. This time it's not like a Mahomes or anybody that knocked him out. But you look at New England, and Drake May has not been on the stage. It's very new. Vrabel has been on the stage though, and what you're finding out now, this is for me. If I'm looking at, like, if my team is not here and I'm looking at a common denominator, I'm looking at the coaching. D Block, what's going on, bro? Hey, long time no see, man. Salute, salute, salute. I think he was on cover 3 the other day, though. I think he was in the comments. Salute, salute, salute. I think coaching has been a common denominator. I mean, I watched that Bills and Broncos game yesterday, and there were just some of the gutsy calls by these coordinators or these coaches, like to throw the ball to the lineman eligible touchdown pass for the Broncos yesterday. That was a genius call. And then you look at the hook and ladder that the Bills did at the time that they did it. Bro, coaching. Look, if you can get yourself premium coaching, you can put yourself in consistent position of those type of games. And I think that, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. The Giants did a hell of a job getting Harbaugh in that building, because if not anything else, Harbaugh, while he didn't have the best coaching year, he typically finds really good staffing. They typically, with Baltimore, now what we're going to find out is if it was just the culture of Baltimore and how they draft players, and if the culture around that city is why Harbaugh was able to have the tough teams that he's had. We're going to find that out. But if it was him, and he brings that to New York is going to be a problem, bro. Problem. All right, VI Cowboy asked this question. What's your thoughts on the Falcons hire? Kevin Stefanski is a really good coach. All right, so I'm going to put that disclaimer out there. And I know that. And had he really given Shador a chance, had they really put a plan in place, if, wasn't up to, if it wasn't like such this big problem, or if the cameras weren't there and ego wasn't involved, Stefanski is a hell of a coach. Really good coach. I mean, he's won Coach of the Year 2 times in his career. So I don't think anybody can say Stefanski is a bad coach. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody can really say that. But I will tell you, he made some bad decisions this year, and it got him canned. It got him canned. You can't really look at the Browns play this year and say that they didn't sabotage Shador, because Stefanski just didn't like the dynamic. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't like the dynamic. And sometimes coaches allow their egos to get in the way, and it makes them worse. So I think that it's a good hire for Atlanta. We'll see, though. For some odd reason, it seems like Atlanta, they get good players, they draft good players, they just haven't been able to put it together. I can't tell you why. Maybe it is coaching. Maybe this is the missing piece. I don't know. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think that it's a bad hire by Atlanta. I think it's an actual good hire. So let's see if he can get Michael Penix to the next level, Let's see. Man, y'all having a good old conversation in there. Good old conversation in there. All right. Shred asked, your opinion, who should my Ravens sign? Make sure you hit that like button. But I think Flores will be a really good fit for the Ravens. That's just me. I think it's perfect. If you go get Flores, you're going to get somebody, because this is what the Ravens struggled with this year. And it wasn't that Lamar was hurt as to why they didn't make the playoffs. Discipline was an issue with the Ravens this year. Discipline. They did not tackle well. A lot of timely penalties. Um, they didn't block well up front. Discipline was an issue for them. I don't even think it was buy-in because they played hard. Um, for some odd reason, discipline was an issue this year. And I think that Flores comes in, and in some of the areas, I don't really necessarily think that they have to go and do a overhaul of the roster with Flores. I think that he come in and he offered. I think he's good for that culture. That's just me, though. That's just me. Who do you think is the Eagles' next OC? Probably the guy from the Colts. I think that they interviewed one of Sirianni's former coaches or something like that. I think that's probably going to be it. I forget his name though. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. Okay, does the Commanders' new OC worry you, seeing how he didn't work out at all in Detroit? What's his name? I mean, I know that Detroit struggled. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. If Jaden Daniels is healthy, that's probably a different year for them. I got to keep that a buck. What's up, DC 301 Nova? Hey, what's up, Grand Rising? Down in New Orleans, we showing the DMV, we showing them that DMV temperature out here. You know what I'm saying? We got go pop pumping and everything out here. All right, somebody said something about Stefanski. All right, Joshua says it wasn't Stefanski's fault in Cleveland. They stuck him with that Deshaun Watson, and they forced him to start bum-ass Shador when he never even wanted him. So this is my thing, right? I'm with you on the Deshaun Watson thing. Shador, I ain't calling him no bum, bro. If you calling him a bum, let's look at all the rookies. Let's look at Drake May, who ended up turning into what? Let's look at Darnold. Let's look at Darnold. You know what I'm saying? Who ended up maturing into that, and now he's going to the NFC Championship game. And Darnold ended up being a hell of a quarterback. I think that patience and a plan go a long way with developing these quarterbacks. And I think that so many people have been impatient. You know what I'm saying? I know that he didn't want Shador, right? But you didn't want him, but he ended up being your best option. So at that point, you put that pride aside and you build with what the hell it is that you have. You know what I'm saying? You don't let your ego take over and let that be the reason that your team isn't successful. You don't let your ego get in the way. At this point, you are what you are. You got who you got, and you coach to your very best ability. And so that is Stefanski's fault. That part is his fault. I don't care what he wanted before then and what he wanted after and all that type of stuff. You got to deal with what you got right there in front of you. And when it was right there in front of him, he focused more on what the hell it is that he didn't want. And I think that that's why he got fired, because everybody around there, like even the players are kind of bought into Shador. You know what I'm saying? The formula. Was it pretty? No. Does he have a lot to learn? Absolutely. He's got to get some snaps. He absolutely does. I'm not saying that he's without fault. Young quarterbacks, they take some time to develop. And so you just got to have the patience and the plan. And if you don't have a plan in place, you can't expect these young quarterbacks to develop. And so there's some things that happen behind closed doors, though. There's some things that happen behind closed doors that we don't know about. Because for me, and I'm just keeping this a buck, I said it. I think Stefanski kind of tried to sabotage Shador, but at the same time, I'm not letting a two-time NFL Coach of the Year go. We just gonna have to figure that. We gonna have to figure that out. We gonna have to figure it out. It's that simple. We gonna have to figure it out. You know, maybe he gets his quarterback this year or something like that, and you bring him in. It's not like you invested a whole bunch in Shador. Still could have went and got him a quarterback this year. I'm not letting a two-time NFL Coach of the Year go for now. Maybe the Browns feel like they found their franchise quarterback and they want to build around it, and I understand that. I definitely understand that wholeheartedly. So sometimes it is business. Sometimes it makes sense. I just know for me, looking at what I know, because there's a lot that I don't know in that situation. I wouldn't have let Stefanski out of the building. But the writing was on the wall. You could see that he was gone. You could see he was gone. Vanilla, I talked about it. I thought it was a catch. And again, 1 week is a catch, 1 week is not. The NFL needs to figure it out. Until then, I kind of feel like those certain situations are rigged. Those 50-50 situations, the NFL has gotten wrong all year. Joshua says Shador never looked like a starting level QB. He's a backup, sure, but he's not good. All right, bro. Like we said, look at the rookie quarterbacks out there. Look at Cam Ward. You can say the same thing about Cam Ward. They're rookies for a reason. They developed. Did they win games? Yeah, they won games. You can't say he didn't look like an NFL starting level quarterback. They beat good teams too. They should have beat Buffalo. They competed against really good teams, and they were able to win. Yeah, you could say, okay, the defense was this and that and blah blah blah. They played behind the defense. Remember, dude wasn't a starter. He took it over mid-year. Was he the greatest? No, but to say he's not a starting level quarterback, I think we got to see more. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a rookie thrown in there. This wasn't catered to him. You just got to see more. You know what I'm saying? He needs snaps. And if you go into a whole year, he's a starter or whatnot, and it looks like that, then I can agree with you. But I don't know anything about anything right now. I mean, I'll even tell you this. There are times that Michael Penix looks like that out in Atlanta. There are times that Michael Penix looks like that. I wouldn't say he's not a starting level quarterback. I just think that some guys hit the ground running. Some guys hit the ground fast and then end up fizzling out later. Some guys, it takes them a little bit slower, and then they hit the ground running later. You know what I'm saying? So it really just depends. Like I said, it's all on the plan and the development of your quarterback. There's no real formula to building a quarterback. There's no formula to building a quarterback. What's up from Livorno, Italy? Oh, that's dope, bro. I don't know if I've ever had anybody on the stream or really actually interacted with anybody from Italy. So that's pretty dope, man. Salute to you, man. Salute, salute, salute. Okay, hello from Buffalo, New York. Okay, yeah, I know I got some Buffalo fans in here that's upset, man. Definitely upset. I get y'all. I get it, man. I'd be upset too. I definitely would. Definitely a valiant effort. Let's talk about something with the Buffalo game. And somebody said this yesterday. I got a new subject right now. You guys know that I love talking about running backs. You guys know that I love the running game. You guys know that. You guys know that. I spent my life pretty much playing that position, and all the way up until I couldn't play anymore, and still study it. Still study the game. Are we ready to have that James Cook could be the top running back in the league discussion? I know that it changes a lot, but let's look at the consistency. James Cook, bro. Yesterday, James Cook, and I know he had the fumble early. James Cook has consistently showed up in big games. I mean, there are times that Josh Allen is playing like complete dumb, and James Cook has bailed him out. I mean, we got to be ready to have that conversation. I know what it looks like when you got Jonathan Taylor and when you got guys like Bijan Robinson, and they have more talent. But when we're talking about big games. We're talking about showing up for your team when your team needs you the most. There's no running back in this league that's more dependable than James Cook in those situations. He shows up in all those big games, bro. All those big games. Somebody said that on a tweet yesterday, and I was just like, you know what? I can't even be mad if somebody says that. I can't be mad if Buffalo Bills say we got the best running back in the league. Also, I did a film study on him at some point this year. Y'all go check that out. I definitely did a study on James Cook. I did one on Jonathan Taylor. I did one on Bijan. I did one on all of those. I think that those are your top 3 running backs in the league right now. Whoever you decide is the best, that's up to you. But one thing that I do know, James Cook show up for every big game. He show up. He just does, man. So, okay, Sal says, are we talking just? GQ Jake said he's so fast. He's fast. He can catch the ball. He can get tough yards. There's not a thing that James Cook can't do. There's not a thing he can't do. Okay, if everyone wants things to be called correctly in the Broncos game, then the Bills should have lost when they're third playing overtime, holding in the end zone. Yeah, and if they called that, I'd be all right with it. I'd be all right with it if they did that. But like you said, it's all about the theatrics. It's all about the theatrics. So we got to figure out what we want. Do we want games to be good based on, based on, I guess, maybe people getting away with certain things? Or do we want games called consistently and whatever happens throughout that, that's what it is. We got to kind of figure out as fans what we want. But I think that the controversy is always going to clicks, and it's always going to make money for the NFL. So I think that they realize that controversy sells, and we're going to keep getting poor officiating like this. Okay, can I say happy birthday to E1, turning 32 this February? Happy birthday. Broncos are donezo. Hey, wait. Nah, you shouldn't have deleted that comment. He asked me I swear to God, that's funny that you said. He said, AJ Brown, is that you? Yo, I seen a commercial of AJ Brown running on the treadmill yesterday, and I swear I texted my homie who's a Philly fan and said, yo, like, I'm kind of built like AJ Brown. I didn't even realize it. That's funny as hell. That's funny. That was a deleted comment, but I swear I said that to myself. I was like, yo, I swear I thought that was me running on the treadmill yesterday on that commercial. That's funny. That's hilarious. T-Pain. Bro, T-Pain got money. T-Pain got money. That's funny. Nah, he was trolling, but I know he was trolling, and you do what you need to do, JV. But I saw it, but I thought that was hilarious. What's going on, animator guy? What's going on? But I thought that was funny. AJ Brown always open. Yeah, man, I swear. Look, my boy who's a trainer, I said, bro, I figured out what my body type is. I'm built just like AJ Brown. And we just so happen to have kind of the same hairstyle. That's funny as hell. Yo, some of these comments be funny. Some be weird, but some be funny. I'd hate being a Buffalo fan. Felt like the Bills had every 50-50 falling away from them cursed team. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I was watching the game, and I said you could tell they want Denver to win this game. You could kind of tell that at a certain point they let them play. And I think that if it's a little even, let's throw a little bit of juice in this game and see what happens. I definitely think that I'm starting to believe that a little bit. AJ got butterfingers. AJ Brown is not good anymore. I just think he's frustrated. When you're not able to play with the type of confidence that you want to play with, it can definitely affect your game. Like, think about this, y'all. I want y'all to think about this. Look at George Pickens and look at what all of the Steeler fans said about George Pickens coming into this year. They said all of the bad things that you could say about a player, about his attitude, about his work ethic, about his effort. They said all of those bad things. And what up, Tug? What's going on, bro? They said all those bad things about Pickens. And all of a sudden, George Pickens with Dak Prescott and a group of people that love him around him, a loving culture for him, it's the perfect fit. And then you see, George Pickens is smiling. George Pickens is a great teammate. He's great to be around. He has great energy. I think that sometimes, and AJ Brown hasn't been happy for 2 years. Even though they won the Super Bowl last year, AJ Brown wasn't happy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, a change of environment could be good for him, maybe. I don't know that him and Jalen will ever really be on the same page because I just don't. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I like Jalen. I really do. I think he's a winning quarterback. I think that he has some really good qualities that you want in a quarterback when you have a team built around him. But a guy like AJ Brown needs somebody that's good with their timing, that understands how to read a whole field, how to be able to create on the sideline, to be able to help adjust and work with them. I just don't think they're a good fit, at least right now. Oh no, I don't think they're a good fit for each other anymore. Because every year you look at teams making adjustments to coverages, they're making adjustments to schemes and all of that type of stuff. So each year they're going to find things that they're able to take AJ Brown, or at least take away Jalen's willingness to throw him the ball, and they're going to do those things, and they're going to create that frustration there. You know what I'm saying? So a good change of scenery might be good for AJ Brown. Vanilla says Garrett Wilson could easily have a Pickens type leap if he goes to a different team. Absolutely. Absolutely. D-Block said, DMV, do you think it was some home cooking going on in Denver yesterday? I don't know if it was home cooking, but I definitely think that it was slanted their way for sure. Definitely. I don't know if it was home cooking or if Vegas called or if the league called and said we want this to happen. But there was definitely something. Coexist to say you mainly talk about sports. Yeah, I just mainly talk about sports. I talk about football. I talk about boxing mainly. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while I'll pop in on and have a short on something else. But yeah, mainly sports. Appreciate you, JV boy. Appreciate you holding things down for me, man. Appreciate you. All right, Ian Davies. One more thing, the first seed should not have a first round bye in the playoffs. They should play in the wild card. It's unfair to other teams. Well, I don't know. Like, that's why you get the number one seed. You get the number one seed so that you get perks. You get home field, and everybody knows that you're playing for that. So it'd be one thing if they decided like later, like, oh, we about to change some things up throughout the middle of the year. But going into each year, everybody knows that the first seed is playing. You're playing for that. You're playing for the bye, and you're playing for home field. So, I mean, if they decide to change it to where they add another playoff team and they do that, then fine. They can do that if they want more football. But I kind of like that you're playing for something because it makes every week count, especially towards the end. You know how some of these, like, think about Seattle. And think about how Seattle fought and was fighting for leverage for their spot. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at it that way. if we didn't have that, you wouldn't have had as good of football games against like Seattle and the Rams, and then Seattle and the 49ers and stuff like that. So, just think about it that way. Hardcore music said Wilson to the pass. Goop just said AJ Brown. Yo, that's hilarious. The AJ Brown comments. What are my thoughts on WD-40? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? But yeah, man, I think I'm getting ready to head out. I talked for about 40 minutes. I think that, we got some good discussion. Maybe later on today, maybe I'll go live from Bourbon or something like that when I'm walking out here in New Orleans. But yeah, it's cheer dad time, and I got to focus on that stuff. For the dads out there that understand what this cheer life is like, it's just like if you have a son playing basketball, or if you have a son playing hockey or anything like that, being a cheer dad for your daughter, or in some cases, some people have their sons out here. But man, it's pretty lit, pretty hype, especially when you have like a culture of dads and stuff together. Like the dads be more hyped than the moms out here. So yeah, if you have a daughter and she's in competitive cheer, salute to you. If you have like a niece or something like that, you should definitely pop out to a competition and support. It's definitely cool. Hey JV, I ain't worried about that, bro. It is what it is. But yeah, I holler at y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way out. 144 people in here. Let's hit the like button. All right, y'all. Salute and peace.